Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mage,
This is Setis also.
and we are bringing you a very, very good game from the Gera Cup #1. We've been waiting all day for a game that really stood out and had some of the top players in it, and we have one. We're going to start in the left corner where we have Huntress Shaped, who is better known as War Chief Rich. Certainly one of the best players in the game and one of the top three players in the tournament, I think. Unfortunately for him, he's probably facing the overall favorite for the tournament, Look Around, who is better known as Hawk. Hawk is certainly a fantastic, fantastic player. He's been dominating every tournament that's popped up recently, and I think he's a slight favorite going into this game, but it's either player's game, and it's only a best of one, so the pressure is on.
Yep.
And so far, it looks like we've got Hawk going a pretty standard opening here, as is Rich. He does have the Ancient War to creep the mercenary camp. And how do you think the fact that there are three starting spawn locations on this map affects our players? They're going to have to do some better scouting than normal, but it should allow for both players to have a little more time to creep uninterrupted without getting harassed. We do see the Demon Hunter coming out
Mm.
here for Rich.
I feel like the position as it's shaped out right now, it allows for Rich to apply pressure to Hawk faster than it would if he was down in the bottom corner. But I can't say it has a huge significance. But he is allowed to creepjack a Hawk at the mercenary camp if he scouts that,
Yep, and it looks
since
like
there's almost no distance to that spot.
Yep, so Rich now knows where Hawk is, and Hawk is on the way to find out where Rich is. The Demon Hunter is in the process of coming out now. Looks like Rich is going to go for. Oh, I thought he was actually going to pull both of these creep camps, but it looks like he is going to resist. Militia creeping coming out now for Hawk. He's going to take down the mercenary camp most likely, so both players should be pretty even after the first couple of minutes here. I suspect Hawk will be the one to take it down first with the militia, but that should give the tech advantage to Rich depending on how he wants to play this.
Yeah, for the human, he can play this several ways. He can either creep a green camp after this and take the expansion close to him, or he can go for the tier 2 Naga rush with rifles and stuff like that. I know Hawk likes to play that build, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. However, on this map, I think it's not the best, just because of yeah, the way the map is shaped and stuff like that.
Hmm. But we do see that both of our players will take down their respective green camps and gain level 2. Hawk has not yet started his tech, neither has Rich at the moment, and Hawk doing a little bit of harassing with the footman, chasing that wisp for all it's worth,
Yeah.
and starting to just do some harassment in the base. We do see that Rich has picked up the forest troll priest, so gets a little bit of healing there, and probably going to have to send something back to deal with that footman if he doesn't want to be harassed by it all game long. In the meantime, though, he's going to go ahead and take down his Goblet Merchant, most likely pick up a Boots of Speed. Down
Mm.
the other side of the map, we see Hawk going for the expansion. Should get a quick expansion up, probably. And this will be a good chance for Rich to do some harassing. Should hit level 3 once this Warden is taken down.
Yeah. And the priest allows for the creeping of that gold mine. As you could see, the cast lightning shield, and Hawk lost, I think, a peasant and took some damage on his footman while creeping that. Whereas Rich has successfully creeped to level 3 without problems, and is now in good shape to face or Hawk. They're both at level 3, so
Yeah, the only thing I could see here, though, is it would be pretty easy for Hawk to take down this Tree of Life as it's going up. It does look like he's going to retreat instead. But the
mm,
Priest is going to be very important for dispelling the water elementals as well.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
that's very critical to get against a human early on, and Rich is going to be able to take down Hawks without any type of problem here, it looks like, although has to be careful he doesn't get himself surrounded. Nice little bit of feet movement to get himself out of there, and does look like he is going to try and take down this expansion. We'll see if he's going to be successful or not, though.
Yeah, it is a good thing to take down that healer, but now the pressure is on Rich and not Hawk's expansion. So I'd say that Rich has to play really well now to um, avoid
Yep,
getting
and
behind in the
oof, I
game.
think that was just stolen by the Archmage there for the last hit on the creep.
Yeah,
So,
really
Hawk
nice job
continuing
by
to do
Hawk.
some harassment damage, exactly. And it does not look like Rich has yet scouted out the fact that Hawk has the expansion up and running. Although I presume he would believe that it is, just because
Yeah,
he knows
I,
Hawk so well.
yeah, he can assume by the creeping patterns of the mercenary shop and the level 3 timing. So he knows it's there. He did choose to go for the Demon Hunter, which I think is a solid hero all around. Really good with the Panda. But in terms of aggression and stuff like that, I think the Warden or even the Dark Ranger is a better hero.
Yeah, I personally am a big fan of Dark Ranger, but that's probably just my free-for-all route showing. So Rich is going to get his expansion up and running now, and he also has a massive advantage in his tech. Hunter's Hall is almost done, and we're very close to finishing off Tier 2, whereas Hawk, meanwhile, is still Tier 1, has not started a tech to Tier 2, and does not have very much wood. He picked up the Shredder, which should help him
Mm.
gain that back quickly. But this could be a big advantage for Rich if he can get some lures up quickly and have a nice tier 2 or tier 3 push before Hawk is able to establish his late game units.
Yeah, he could go for bears if he wants to, and apply some pressure to Hawk while he's expanding. But when Hawk
Which
has towers up and stuff like that, it will be hard to put pressure to his expansion.
Yeah, I was actually thinking possibly in the base since he doesn't have any towers there. We do see that the Panda is the
Yeah,
hero of choice for Rich as his second hero, and at least one of these footmen should go down, presumably. And if Rich plays this well, he might be able to cancel the tower before it goes up, but you do have to worry about how much damage that Arcane Tower would do by draining the mana on the Panda. It might be smarter to try and get that up to level 3.
yeah, he needs bears or something like that to counter this, and he's also getting an Agent of Wind. I presume that's because he wants to counter Zeppelin harass before Hawk is attempting to do anything of that fashion, but we'll see what he can produce out of it.
Yep, so we do see Archmage hits level 4 as well. Demon Hunter is level 4, and item is a Wand of Lightning Shield. Hawk has started his tech to tier 2, almost halfway done with a Blacksmith on the way up. He's sitting at 500 and 500, whereas Rich is at 140 and 250. And it looks like we're going to have some more harassment damage done here
Mm.
to Rich. Hawk now has seen that the Expo is up and running, I believe, and it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see how this plays out.
yeah, he can't be too happy about that. Did you notice how he put that expansion up? Was it in the main at the and he moved the tree, or did he just put it next to the mine and Hawk didn't
Yep,
see it? Okay.
exactly. And he now has a second expansion up as well, not up, but in the process of going up as well.
Because when I play with the Snidel, I usually want to cancel that expansion they try to make while taking to Tier 2 and stuff like that, because you want that extra gold advantage to make a really strong Tier 2 push. But yes, Rich is playing really nicely, and he's also grabbing a second expansion at the middle
Yep.
right position of the map.
So, what do you think about the decision here to grab the Mud Golem? It seems a little pointless to me. I mean, it's a really nice creep, but the Dryads are all going to have Abolish in a moment, and he has two Shadow Priests.
I think it's a bad decision, to be honest. He wants to apply pressure here with the Mud Golem, that's what he says. But now that Lich has a Panda out and Dryads, he's going to counter that easily, especially with those two priests. And Hawk is now on 55 food, so whereas Rich is below 50. So I'm really liking the way Rich is opening up, and he's about to steal the item from here, the Dark Wizard.
Yep, and it's a post-inf restoration, so nice item there to be taken by Rich. And let's see, I don't believe that he managed to steal the last hit, did he?
I think it with mana burn.
Oh, really? Okay, so very well played then by Rich, and we can see that the panda is up to level 2, about halfway to level 3.
Hmm. I think Hawk would have done better if he had creeped the red spot at the right side of the map instead of the
The one
one
right in
close to
between them.
Rich. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And we should see some mass abolish coming out, and these water elementals really are going to feed a lot of experience to Rich right now. However, he has to be very careful on the Demon Hunter, wisely
Yeah.
TPs out here. And that's something that I like because too often we see players try and get too cute, staff it, etc., not use their TPs. But Rich does do it, does lose a Dryad in the process, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um, he could have staffed there, but it's a slight mistake. Obviously, you don't want to waste 350 gold. But on the other hand, he has the second expansion up, and I don't think Hawk anticipates this at all.
No, I think he's got no idea that second expansion is up and running. And it looks like Hawk actually is in the process of grabbing a second expansion for himself as well, if those guard towers are anything to guess about. We should see Demon Hunter get very close to level 5 once this is done. Panda will hit level
Mm.
3, and the Tree of Eternity is almost complete. So I think we're going to see Rich make his move before too long. He's up to 68 right now. He's got bears pumping, and we can see Hawk has not yet started a tech to castle. He's producing mortars, so I think Rich is in very good shape right now. Grabs a spike collar as his item,
Yep,
and
I'd agree with that.
things are in good shape for him right now. And this will be a good test to see how well Hawk can counter him, and for Hawk to show truly why he is just so incredibly good. Which, if anybody could pull this off right now, it would be Hawk against Rich. So we shall see.
Yeah, it's not a standard thing. I think maybe it's just because of this map that Hawk is going for the second expansion. But usually, as a human player, um, you don't go for the tier 2 units and grab that second expansion, basically because Demon Hunter and Panda just gets way out of hand with bears and dryads in the later part of the game. So that's why I'm liking the Rich position, but on bad engagement with slow and breakers might just yeah make it hard for Rich to secure his advantage.
Yep. So, do you think that Rich has any interest in going for a third hero? We can see he's got a third expansion on the way up, but Panda is so good when it hits level 5. So, would you stick with the two heroes just so you can grab more experience early on? And we'll get back to this in a moment, but it does look like we are going to have a big creep jack here. Claws plus 9. If the Demon Hunter can grab those, that would be a huge win, but looks like the Mountain
Mm.
King will pick it up instead. He does have a stone token, which is a beautiful item. And it looks like this is going to be Rich's chance to push into. Hawk, he does have two towers up at the expansion, and these fairy dragons should make a pretty big difference against the casters. Level 5 goes off for the demon hunter there, and it looks like Rich is hotly debating whether or not he wants to push. I did not notice it, but the tree of life there is actually very, very low. Mortar's doing a lot of damage to it.
Yeah, Rich is just forgetting to repair it, I guess.
He's got
Just
one
focused on
wisp
the
repairing
fight.
it currently.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it should be okay with just the water elemental there, and if he can back Hawk up here, he'll be in good shape. He does need to get access to these two mortar
Mm.
teams, though, which are the main source of DPS for Hawk right now. And Hawk is trying to create a pathway through here so he can get to the expansion pretty easily.
Yeah. I don't think Hawk would be in a position to fight Rich right now outside his towers. He's trying to bait Rich into it, but he's also losing units at the same time with the slow poison and Dryad focus. Um, but he may be able to take down this expansion if Rich is
So
not careful.
yeah, this is a very interesting use of the mortars in the field there. He needs to go ahead and empty the gold mine to repair it. I believe he's going to lose these mortars, but the Tree of Life goes down first. And
Yeah,
bad decision,
but
by, in my opinion, by Rich not to try and corner those mortars while he could.
no, I think it was the right decision not to take that fight because the elf gets stronger and stronger as the game goes. Hawk is taking Knight to Tower 3, and Rich, in the meantime, has put up a second and a third expansion. This is one of the cute advantages of playing Night Elf, that you can just grab expansions all over the map in this stage of the game, like Moon does in his replays.
I suppose we'll see if it works out in the long run. He does need to figure out a way to deal with these mortars. He's got 4 here, although Hawk just leaving them behind. That would be really bad for Hawk to engage without those right now, and this is going to be a creep jack right in the middle of a red camp. Let's see how much damage can be done here. We haven't really seen the Panda deal off a huge amount of damage to the casters yet. We'll see if he can do so now.
The Mountain King is only level 3 at this point, so he'll have to do some... It all comes down to the positioning, really. In open fights against that's usually not good for human, but if your bears are clumped up and can't get to the mortars and stuff like that, then it's really good for the human.
Yep.
So I'm just based on the positioning here, I like Rich's position.
Rich is actually going to go ahead and TP. Yep.
Save that expansion.
Smart move on his part there. He is going to sacrifice the other expansion, though, it looks like. Yeah. And this may be a good chance for him to push into this expansion now that he's got his bears up.
I'd say he could just go for the main, actually. There's no defense there. And he could take out the Arcane Sanctum as well as the Workshop if he wants to.
We do see that the Archmage has now hit level 5, and I'm surprised that he is not drawing his Archmage back to let the Mountain King gain more experience there. Somewhat amateurish move, and we are going to see...
he's worried about Rich attacking the expansion.
Keeping in with a really low MK, by the way.
Yeah.
But we do see that the Chimera Roosts are up for Rich, and presumably he'll start making a few before too long. Demon Hunter going to go ahead, TP out here. I hope the bear goes with it, though. In fact, it does not go. So it gets caught there, but on the other side of the map, we're going to see all the mortar teams probably die to Rich. They're doing a nice job harassing, and they did a lot of damage to the expansions, but it does look like the sacrifice is going to be they'll go down.
Rich needs to get more town portals on his heroes. It's very clear to right now that Hawk is trying to hit Rich on many fronts at the same time, testing his multitasking. And but Rich can afford to lose this Tree of Life here. He's already got the 2 expansions, and that's really good against a human player.
Yep, a third going up in the meantime. It looks like with the repair, though, he may try and TP in here. I'm somewhat surprised that he is repairing as opposed to just detonating these wisps, but it looks like it's going down regardless, although we're going to see a TP by Hawk, and Hawk may not take it down. So who am I to question Rich, because that was a beautiful save there, but it looks like Paladin just going to go in. Maybe the Paladin will be able to kill it. But we are going to have a large fight here between Rich and Hawk. One of the bears does go down pretty much right away, and the sorceresses and priests are in a pretty bad position there. But it will be Rich that TP's out, and he is going to TP to this main base, not to the expansion as I originally thought. So very back and forth so far. Somewhat surprising that this game is going as it is. 89 food for Rich at the moment, 83 for Hawk. Very exciting, and I think so far it's living up to everything it's been billed to be.
Yeah, it has. I'd say that Rich is definitely ahead at this point, even. What you usually want to do as a human player is, if you recall games on Twisted Meadows, you want to have towers at each expansion while harassing the Night Elf player at this stage with tanks and stuff like that. But with this kind of army competition, Hawk has to take the fight straight on. So against chimeras and stuff like that, I don't see him doing that great, especially now the Panda is almost close to level 5.
Yeah, and he does have a few flying machines involved here, but those are going to go down pretty quickly, both to the Demon Hunter and the Panda. Demon Hunter is very close to level 6 as well. Hawk down to 83 right now. 96 for Rich. He is really taking a huge food advantage. Demon Hunter goes ahead and uses potion. It's going to be level 6 momentarily, and let's see if we get meta right away, or what his plan is on that one. Go ahead, and GG from Hawk. So pulling the minor up seat is Rich, and it's going to be Rich that advances, and Hawk is out, unfortunately.
Yeah, Hawk didn't manage to deny the first expansion from Rich while they were about Rich was about tier 2 and Hawk hadn't started his tech, and that was what really put him behind that game. Um, I think Rich played really well overall, almost flawlessly.
Yep, I agree. That was a very, very well played match from both of them. Rich just played a little bit, excuse me, better. So thank you all for watching. If you're on Twitch, make sure you go ahead and follow us. We will be bringing you many more games from this tournament.